Hi everybody, it's Annette from The Art of Intuition, and today we're going to talk about, can people change? Do people change? That is a yes and no answer. The human aspect of a person does not change. It will always be, and I hinder to say the worst part of the person, but it'll be the aspect you don't enjoy of the person. It is not their best aspect. It is their worst. It is the ego. It is everything about the person that you don't enjoy seeing. It's the narcissistic person. It's the me. It's the game playing. That is the human aspect of a person, of any person. We all have a human aspect. So that doesn't change. Now, everyone has other aspects. Everyone has higher aspects. Everyone has aspects they can embody in they can embody them in for short periods of time until they clear all the distortions around that aspect and they can actually hold it. But they normally can't hold it until they've expanded the consciousness, cleared other things so they can embody in those other aspects of themselves, those higher aspects of themselves. That's why you'll see different aspects of people and you'll be like, wow, sometimes, this person acts this way. And I love when the person acts that way, and other times they act this other way, and I don't know, are they putting on an act or it's just a different aspect of them. It's an aspect of them that you really like. Normally, when you first meet a person, you don't see the human aspect. You see more of their higher aspects. They just might not be in a space to hold those aspects for long. That's why I always say take a couple times to see a person. Get a couple interactions in until you see what you're dealing with, because you normally don't see the human first. They usually put the best foot forward first, and normally the best foot forward is different aspects, but they normally can't hold them for long periods of time, especially if you're seeing a real shift in the person and you're seeing where they're not holding it, and you're kind of, sometimes we can get confused about that because we feel like they're playing a game, and it's really not game playing. They just can't hold those aspects of themselves. That's just not where they are. So what do we do? Well, if we hold a higher aspect of ourselves, then we then demand a higher aspect of them. Now, if we meet with them and expect the same old aspect, we're going to get the same old aspect. We'll recreate the same timeline again because we're not expecting anything else from them. But if we bring our higher aspect and we just expect that from them, we bring our highest aspects, we expect it from them, and then we see what we have. Don't expect the same thing again. Don't recreate the same thing. We have to come into it fresh. Now, then you have to be honest with yourself and look at what's in front of you and say, okay, is this the aspect I want to deal with? What aspect do I have right now that I'm talking to? Is this the aspect I want to engage with? And if it is, you go from there. If it's not, you can shut the whole timeline down and go separate ways again until it comes around in your energy field again and you can check and see where they are again. So, but you also don't want to always hold people to who they were. And this has come up a lot lately about holding people to what they've done, holding people to who they were. Everyone is always expanding their consciousness. Some people are choosing to do it quicker because that's what they've chosen and they want to do it faster. Some people don't choose that. Some people choose to do it at more of their predefined pace. Some people choose to skip over that. And we want to expand quicker. We want to skip over a lot of the same stuff again and get to the better stuff, which we can do if we're more conscious in every moment. But some people don't choose that. Some people choose to go at a different pace, and that's fine. But you can't always expect the same thing. You have to always be open to people changing. Because when you expand your consciousness and you increase your vibration and you're not operating from your human all the time, and we might have times when we dip back in to clear out the program and then we're back in our higher aspects again. I mean, you're going to oscillate in and out, and how long you stay in your human is how long, how much programming you have to clear out. And then when you're in your human because you don't feel very good, and then you go back out to your higher aspects. But you can't hold people to who they were. Because when they expand, and you know that with yourself, as you've expanded in consciousness and as you've expanded, you're not who you were when you were in your human programming all the time. You look back at that person and you're like, who was that? What was I doing? I know I do that. I'm like, who was that person? People wouldn't even recognize, they don't even recognize you when you're not in that aspect anymore because you're so different. So you have to look at yourself in that sense too, that sometimes you even forget the memories. You don't remember who you were. The memories are kind of there and you can pull on them if it's to teach. There's no real emotion around the memory because you don't have any of that anymore. And if it's a teaching moment and you want to tell someone something, you can kind of pick it out of your field and it comes back in. But in general, those memories just kind of go when you were in your human aspect and you don't remember. You don't remember things you had, people you knew, you just forget. And that can happen with other people too. So if we keep holding people to who they were 15 years ago or 2 years ago or 2 months ago, we're never going to get anywhere. As a collective, or personally, we're never going to get anywhere. So we always have to be open to where they are, which aspect they're showing us, which aspect they are living in most of the time. And don't judge where they are. We always have to just expect something different. So can people change? Yes. They can change their aspect. But if they're in their human, that's not going to change. So look at what you have in front of you. Be open to them being something else. Don't hold them to who they were 5 years ago, or really 5 minutes ago. Because when you live a vibrational existence, choices change in a moment. In one moment it's aligned to stick together and do something, and the next minute it's not because they shift aspects. And you can either shift aspects with them and go human and play that out, or you can decide not to do that and let them go and do their human experience for a little while longer till they come back in, and then see what you got again. But don't expect the same thing. Understand there's more parts to them. And if you really look at anyone you've known, you can see how many beautiful parts there are of them. It just might not be where they can hold those aspects for long and live from those aspects right now. It doesn't mean they won't be able to do that 2 years from now or 2 months from now. So keep an open mind, open heart, and keep practicing the art of intuition.